Hello everyone, welcome to this on-demand yoga class focusing on building strength in the shoulders and technique for headstand. This is an open level class, so please listen out for all the different options. As always, listen into your body and modify as much as you need. We'll start seated and then take some nice big shoulder rolls. And then when you're ready to find stillness, you can close down the eyes. And just enjoying these first few moments to arrive in your space. And as we sit here in stillness, bring your awareness to your breath. And see if you can encourage your breath to become deep and slow. Every breath in, taking air right down into the base of your belly. Every breath out, slight engagement as you draw the belly button back in towards the spine. And continue with these deep, slow belly breaths. So on your next breath in, lift your chin up high to the ceiling. Slow exhale, taking the chin back down to the chest. Lacing the fingers, place the hands on the back of the head. Pausing here as every breath in fills the belly. Every breath out, neck and shoulders soften. Next breath in, lift the chin high, elbows open wide. Exhale, rounding down, chin to chest, elbows draw in. Inhale, opening up, lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round down, belly draws in. One more inhale. And exhale. Releasing the hands, stretch the arms out in front of you at shoulder height, palms face away from one another. As you breathe in, sweep the arms back, lift and open the chest, shoulder blades squeeze together. Flipping the palms to face the front, exhale as you sweep forward, round through the upper back and stretch the fingers forwards in space. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, rounding down. One more breath in. And out. Bending the elbows, palms of the hands face behind you. Check the elbows are up in line with the shoulders and push the elbows and the backs of the hands up and away from the body so you can feel a stretch across your upper back. As you breathe in, draw the elbows wide, lift the chest and squeeze the shoulder blades together. As you breathe out, elbows draw in, chin tucks, round the back, shoulder blades spread wide. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, rounding down. One more breath in. And out. Releasing the arms, plant the hands on the floor in front of you and come up onto all fours, preparing for cat-cow. Shoulders stack above the wrists, hips above the knees. Awareness at the very base of the spine. Lifting your tailbone up to the ceiling, drop the belly low, then lift the chest and the gaze. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, tuck the tailbone under, draw the belly in tight to the spine, push into the hands, around the back, tuck the chin. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, rounding down. One more breath in. And out. Pausing here, preparing to isolate some movement just to the shoulder blades. So we're going to take some protractions and retractions of the shoulder blades to build strength in the serratus anterior, which are these finger-like muscles that wrap around the side of the ribs, supporting the shoulder blades. So keeping the whole of your body still, arms straight, keep rounding the upper back as much as you can and feel the shoulder blades spread wide. Then slowly start to drop the chest down between the arms and squeeze the shoulder blades together. So arms staying straight, rest of the body nice and still as we push up. Protraction of the shoulder blades. And release down, shoulder blades squeeze together, retraction. One more push up. Release down. Squeeze. Coming back up into strong shoulders once more. Keep the shoulders engaged as you tuck the toes. Hover the knees 1 inch off the mat, floating tabletop. 3 deep breaths into the belly. Sending the hips up and back, downward dog. Take any movement that feels good here. And finding stillness. Lift your heels up as high as you can, then around through the back as you roll forward into high plank, shoulders stacked above wrists. From here, bend the knees till they're floating 1 inch off the mat. Keep the knees as low as you can as you send the hips back to the heels. Finally, take the hips up and back, downward dog. Moving with the breath now. Inhale as we lift the heels high and roll forwards. Hold the breath as you bend the knees and send the hips back. Exhale, downward dog. One more, inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Starting to walk the feet forward, lots of tiny steps. Meeting in Hatha at the top of the mat. So placing the backs of the hands down on the floor, fingers point towards the toes, then slide the hands all the way underneath the feet until the toes are up to the wrist crease. Then let the head and shoulders hang heavy. Every breath in fills the belly. Every breath out, neck and shoulders soften. Carefully releasing the hands. Keep the chin tucked as you start to roll up through the spine. Opening the palms to the front of the room as we close down the eyes and take a moment to ground ourselves here in our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Feeling the soles of the feet on the mat. Lift both kneecaps to engage the thighs. Squeeze the glutes. Lower ribs draw in. Shoulders soft. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Palms open wide. Awareness on the breath. Inhale, Urdhva arms sweep up, palms meet above the head as we stretch tall. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Remember to soften the knees if you need to connect the belly to the thighs. Forehead tucks in to touch the knees or the shins. Inhale, halfway lift, open the chest or the shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold down, curl in. Right foot steps back. Keep the back heel up as high as you can. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, bend the elbows, cactus arms. As you become still here, draw the elbows away from one another, broad across the chest. Then check the lower ribs are drawing in, glutes are switched on. So we've got a sandwich of energy moving in two opposite directions, squeezing the core in the middle to help keep it strong and solid. Deep breaths into the belly. Releasing the arms, plant the hands, step back to plank. Option 1, holding here in plank position, shoulders stacked above wrists. Option 2, take the knees to the ground, find your diagonal line, knees, hips, shoulders, ears. Pausing here to take 3 more of those shoulder protractions and retractions. So whether you're in plank or on the knees, push into the hands, round the upper back and spread the shoulder blades as wide as you can. Then slowly, with control, lower the chest down between the arms and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Pushing all the way up. Arms stay straight. Slowly lower down. Pushing up around the back. Lowering down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Last one, push up. Shoulders stay strong. If you're in plank, nice work. Take the knees down to the ground now as you find your diagonal line, knees, hips, shoulders, ears. Keep that line straight as you lower super slow, finding somewhere to pause on your journey down as high or as low to the mat as you like, holding for one breath, building strength before coming down to our bellies. Inhale, cobra, chest lifts forwards and up. Exhale, downward dog. You can take the first couple of breaths to settle in. Any movement that feels good. And then as you become still, we'll take some shoulder shrugs in our downward dog. So push into the hands and squeeze the shoulder blades all the way up to the ears. Armpits wrap in as we slightly round the upper back. Then with control, release back to where you were. So I can show you from a different angle if that's helpful. So if you imagine I'm in downward dog, I'm pushing into the hands and shrugging the shoulders all the way up to my ears, hugging the armpits in, and then with control releasing them back down. I'll show you once more in this direction. So from downward dog, shrugging the shoulders all the way up to the ears, really push into the hands and squeeze, and then release the shoulders with control. So taking one more of these shrugs in your downward dog. Taking the gaze between the hands, right foot steps forwards, inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, step forwards into fold. Inhale, Urdhva, rise up, palms meet. Then as you breathe out, bend the elbows and take the thumbs to the back of your head, elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, Urdhva, stretch up. Exhale, Uttanasana, folding down. Belly to thighs, forehead to shins. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back. Keep the back heel up as high as you can. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, bend the elbows, cactus arms. Again, elbows stretch away from one another, broad across the chest, pulling the lower ribs in and squeezing the glutes. Core stays engaged as we breathe deep and slow into the belly. Last breath. Planting the hands, stepping back to plank. Again, your choice whether you take your shoulder protractions and retractions in plank position or with the knees down to the ground. Whichever option you choose, start by pushing into the hands, round the shoulders as much as you can. Feel the shoulder blades spread wide. Then slowly, keeping the arms straight, lower the chest down between the arms and squeeze the shoulder blades together. With control, push up and lower down. Squeeze, push up and lower down. Squeeze. Last one to come up. Option one, taking the knees down to the ground, lowering down to your belly, nice and slow with control. Option two, if you find it easy to lower down on the knees, try coming down in plank position. Shoulders stay stacked above the wrists as we lower. Pausing halfway for one breath. Then choosing your back bend, cobra like before, or flipping the feet and lifting the thighs for up dog. Everyone squeezing the glutes here. Exhale, downward dog. Take it back. Have a little wiggle out. Finding stillness. Preparing to take 3 slow shoulder shrugs in our downward dog. Pushing into the hands, shrug the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Squeeze and wrap the armpits in. Slowly take it back to where you were. Again, shrug. Squeeze and wrap. With control, release. Last one, push. Shoulders strong. And release. Taking the gaze between the hands. Left foot steps forwards. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, plant the hands. Step forwards into fold. Inhale, Urdhva, rise up, palms meet. As you breathe out, bend the elbows, thumbs to the back of the head. Inhale, Urdhva, stretch up. Uttanasana, fold down. Inhale, halfway open the chest, draw the shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold down, curl in. Left foot steps back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, bend elbows, cactus arms. Sweeping the arms in front, cross the right elbow over the top of the left. So option 1 is holding here. Option 2, to reach the left hand in towards the face, then around to catch hold of the wrist, palm or thumb, whatever you want for your bind. As you settle into the arms, think about sending the elbows and the little finger up and away from the body so you can feel a stretch across the upper back. Then bring it back to your sandwich of energy, drawing the lower ribs in, squeezing the glutes, holding strong in the legs, deep breaths into the belly. Releasing the arms, plant the hands, step back to plank. Stepping the hands forwards towards the top of your mat. See if you can start to bend the elbows evenly until they land underneath the shoulders, coming into forearm plank. Lace the fingers to make a basket with the hands. Preparing to take our shoulder protractions and retractions here. So remember, you can always take the knees down to the ground at any point. As we push into the elbows round the upper back, feel the shoulder blades spread wide. With control, slowly lower the chest down and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Pushing all the way up. Lowering down. Pushing up. Lowering down. Last one, push up, hold you strong. Bring yourself back up to plank. Choose whether you'd like to take your vinyasa with or without the knees, your choice, but move slow with control. Then choosing your back bend, inhale cobra, or up dog, soft shoulders, strong glutes. Exhale, downward dog. Have a pedal out through the feet. And as we prepare to take 3 more of our shoulder shrugs in downward dog, if you fancy leveling up, making it a bit more juicy, come into 3-legged dog before you start. So right leg lifts high and straight, point through the toes, squeeze the thighs, squeeze the glutes. Then taking 3 controlled shrugs of the shoulders here. Last one. I'm preparing to sweep the right foot to the front of the mat. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, step forwards into fold. Inhale, Urdhva, rise up. Exhale, thumbs to the back of the head. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Uttanasana, hinging from the hips. Inhale, halfway, long spine. Exhale, fold. Left steps back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, cactus arms. Sweep the arms in front, left elbow crosses over the top, right this time. So again, option 1 is holding here. Option 2, bringing the right hand in towards the face and reaching round. Wherever you can take the bind. Taking the elbows and the little finger up and away from the body, feeling a stretch across the upper back. Lower ribs draw in, glutes squeeze. Breathe into the belly. Unraveling the arms, plant the hands. Step back to plank. Stepping the hands forwards. Slowly bending the elbows until they land underneath the shoulders. Lacing the fingers together to make a basket with the hand. Forearm plank. Check your body is in one long line. Remember, you can take the knees down whenever you like. Preparing to protract the shoulders, push into the elbows, round the upper back. Feel the engagement. Slowly with control, lower down and squeeze the shoulder blades together, retraction. Push up. Lower down. Push up. Lower down. Last one, push up. Keep the shoulders strong as we plant the hands where the elbows were and come back up to plank. Choosing your vinyasa with or without the knees, move slow. Choosing your back bend, inhale cobra or up dog. Exhale downward dog. And having a little pedal out through the feet. And then before we start to take our shoulder shrugs, if you want to fire it up, three-legged dog, left leg lifts high, point the toes, squeeze the thighs, squeeze the glutes. Pushing into the hands, shrug the shoulders all the way up to the ears, squeeze. With control, release. Pushing into the hands, shrug and squeeze. Slowly release. Last one. Preparing to sweep the left foot to the front of the mat. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, step forwards into fold. Inhale, Urdhva, rise up. Exhale, thumbs to the back of head. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Right foot steps back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Spinning your right palm to face the back of the room. Bend the right elbow. Palm reaches between the shoulder blades. Left arm sweeps all the way around and reaches up towards the middle of the back. If the fingertips meet, you can take hold of a bind. If not, catch hold of your top. Keep the right elbow pointing straight up to the ceiling, space between the head and the upper arm. Mindful here of the lower ribs flaring out. As we lift the right elbow up towards the ceiling, the ribs want to open in front, so tuck the ribs back in. Keep squeezing the glutes. One more deep breath. Releasing the arms, plant the hands, step back to plank. Stepping the hands forward towards the front of the mat. Slowly bend both elbows evenly, taking them down to the mat underneath the shoulders. Lace the fingers together to make a basket with the hands. Then tiptoe the feet in a little bit and lift the hips up and back, coming into our dolphin. Option 1, holding steady in your dolphin. Option 2, dolphin dips. If you choose to take the dips, lift the gaze a little and then take the nose towards the thumbs before pushing all the way back to where you were. Move slowly with control. Feel the movement in the shoulder blades. Last one. taking the knees down to the ground. Arms can stretch out in front or behind as you come into your child's pose. Encouraging the breath to be deep and slow. Whole body soft. Last breath. Keep the chin tucked as you slowly roll yourself up to kneeling. Big roll through the shoulders. We'll come back up into downward dog. Taking the gaze to the top of your mat. Bend the knees and take the biggest jump you can towards your hands. Meeting in forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva, rise up, palms meet. Exhale, thumbs to back of head. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Spinning the left palm to face the back of the room. Bend left elbow. Palm reaches between the shoulder blades. Right arm sweeps all the way around. Taking hold of the top or fingertips. Checking in with the lower ribs, the glutes. Left elbow reaching up towards the ceiling. Last breath. Releasing the arms, plant the hands, step back to plank. Stepping the hands forward. Slowly bend the elbows, lowering down until the elbows land at the same time underneath the shoulders. Lace the fingers together to make a basket with the hands. Tiptoe the feet in as you lift the hips up high, coming into dolphin. Option 1, holding steady. Option 2, dolphin dips, move slow. Awareness in the shoulders. When you're done, bring your knees down to the ground. Arms can reach in front or behind as you come into child's pose. Last breath. Keeping the chin tucked, slowly roll yourself up to kneeling. Big roll through the shoulders as you reach the top. Preparing to come into our headstand practice. So if you already have a confident headstand practice, feel free to go straight on up, get more time to practice the pose. Otherwise, I'll show you step by step and you can watch first and then I'll run through it again so you can then follow along, listening to the cues second time round. So first time to watch if you like. Lining up the elbows with the wrists. It's quite narrow. Check you're not accidentally doing fingertips, knuckles, elbows to wrist. Plant the elbows down on the mat. Don't let them move as you open up the arms and lace the fingers together to make a basket with the hands. Check your little finger at the bottom of the basket is on the inside, so it's not getting crushed at the bottom. And then place the crown of your head to the very top of your head, right in the middle of the basket. If you're not sure where the crown of the head is, take the heel of the hand, place it between the eyebrows and reach the middle finger to the top of your head. And that spot there, right in the middle, that's where the crown is. You'd be surprised at how many people try to headstand on their forehead. It doesn't work very well. So lining everything up again, wrist to elbows, basket with the little finger tucked in. Placing the crown of the head in the middle of the basket, then nuzzling the back of the head into the hand so it feels nice and secure. So option one is working here. You don't even need to take the knees off the ground. Push into the elbows, round the upper back, spread the shoulder blades wide. We're protracting the shoulder blades just like we've been doing all class to create a solid foundation. You can see the difference between like sloppy collapsed shoulders down here and strong engaged shoulders with a rounded upper back. So I'll show you this way as well. Engaged, collapsed, engaged, collapsed. So check in and make sure your shoulders are engaged. A drill you can practice here is pushing into the elbows and lifting the head just a couple of millimeters off the mat. You should feel your muscles fire up when you do this, and then release the head back down. This is a great drill for practicing taking the weight out of the head and into the arms, which will protect the neck later on. So you can practice here. If you'd like to take it a little bit further today, tuck the toes, lift the knees, and again, you can play with engaging the shoulders or hovering the head and placing it back down here. Maybe you want to tiptoe the feet in. The more space you have in the hamstrings, the closer you'll be able to walk your feet in and the higher you'll get the hips above the head. Ideally you want to stack the hips directly above the head. I don't think I can get mine quite high enough, but the higher you can get them above the head, the better. You can either hold here or you can tuck one heel into the bum and squeeze the knee into the chest. Practice one side, practice the other side. Maybe you practice both sides. I really encourage everyone to try and practice headstand in this little ball first. You're nice and close to the ground. You get to come up with control rather than kicking up. Keep the shoulders engaged. When you're up, squeeze the glutes, draw the lower ribs in. Use that sandwich of energy to hold you in place in the middle. When you're ready to come down with control, the same way you came up, and rest in child's pose. And allowing everything to become soft, the breath to become deep. So if you were watching that time, I'll talk you in once more and you can follow along this time. So starting, wrist to elbows, placing them down on the mat. Opening up the arms, lacing the fingers together to make a basket with the hand, checking the little finger is not underneath but tucked in. Crown of the head in the middle of the basket. Nuzzle the head right in to the hands. Try not to get your hair in the way. Shoulders strong and engaged. Protract the shoulder blades, spread them wide. Option one is holding here, maybe doing some head lifting drills. Option two, tuck the toes, lift the knees. Option three, tiptoe the feet in. Maybe squeeze one heel to the bum, hold for several breaths and then switch. Maybe you float both heels in and hold in your little headstand ball. Keep pushing into the elbows, protracting the shoulder blades, keep them engaged. Only if you feel secure here, start to take the legs up towards the ceiling. Remember, you can always practice against a wall. A bit more security should you feel a bit wobbly. Once you're up, squeeze the glutes, draw the lower ribs in. Everything squeezing tight into the core to hold you steady in space. You can hold for a little longer if you like, but whenever you're ready, you can come down with control and rest in child's pose. Last breath. And keeping the chin tapped as you slowly roll up to kneeling. Big roll through the shoulders as you reach the top. And then bringing your feet round to the front. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. For Gomukhasana, butterfly pose. You can have the feet as close in or as far away from the body as you like, your choice. Take hold of the ankles or the feet. Use the arms to help lengthen the spine. Sit up tall and see if you can find this little concave dish in the lower back. Natural curve of the spine. Option 1 is holding here, sitting tall. Option 2, if you know you have a lot more flexibility in you and you'd like to hinge forward from the hips, you can do so. Maybe you're like me and you just hinge forward a few centimetres. Maybe you have a lot more space and you hinge all the way down. Find your edge and settle in there. We're preparing to take some cat-cow movements through the spine. Awareness right down in the base of the spine. And then poke your tailbone out behind you as much as you can. Pivot the pelvis forwards. Send the belly forwards, the ribs forwards. Lift and open the chest. Draw the shoulder blades back. Deep breath in. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone under. Draw the belly in tight. Round the back. Tuck the chin. Inhale, coming forwards, opening up. Exhale, rounding back. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And then staying as you are, take your left foot out wide to the side. As wide as you can. Flexing the left foot, drawing the toes in, squeeze the left thigh. See if you can ground down both sit bones onto the mat. Then take a twist away from that straight leg, using the fingertips to help lengthen the spine. Then taking the left elbow down to the left thigh, hand makes a fist. Maybe you can rest your left temple down. Other arm reaches up and over, bicep hovering just above the ear, fingertips reaching for the toes. See if you can find a stretch from right hip all the way up to right little finger. Every breath in, a reminder for us to spiral our rib cage and armpit open towards the ceiling. Every breath out, we sink a little deeper. Maybe that elbow starts to slide off the front of the thigh, down towards the floor. Last breath. Slowly releasing. Changing sides. Right leg out straight. Draw the toes in, push through the heels, squeeze the thigh. Take both sit bones down to the ground. Twist away from your straight leg. Lengthen. Then taking the right elbow down to the thigh, hand makes a fist for you to rest your temple. Top arm reaches up and over. Bicep hovers just above the ear as we stretch through the fingertips. Every breath in, an invitation to roll the ribcage open towards the ceiling. Every breath out, an invitation to slide that elbow down off the thigh, closer towards the floor. Last breath. Slowly releasing. When you're ready, bring it down to your back. Knees into the chest, big squeeze. Maybe a little rock side to side if that feels good. And option 1 is holding here just as you are. Option 2, taking the legs up towards the ceiling, soft knees, soft feet. This is a really nice place to hang out and practice your deep belly breaths. Option 3, Halasana. Hands come underneath the hips for support as we lift the hips up high and take the feet towards the ground behind us. Maybe bend the knees and rest them on the forehead. Maybe the legs just hang in space. Maybe the toes reach the floor. If you're in Halasana, you can slowly start to release. And then we'll all take a nice big full body stretch. Reaching fingertips to toes. Release the wrists and the ankles. Bring the arms down by the sides, palms to the mat. Lift the hips, slide the hands underneath so you're sitting on them. Then tuck the elbows in as tight as you can underneath the body, preparing for Matsyasana, fish pose. Take a deep breath in, lift the chest, open the throat, and rest the crown of the head on the ground behind you. When you're ready to come out, deep breath in, lift and release. Releasing the arms, take them out wide to the side in a T if you have the space, otherwise bent elbows, cactus arms. Sliding the hips all the way over to the left hand side of the mat. Draw the left knee in tight to the chest, then slowly guide that knee over to the right. And so try not to force this leg into any particular position. Just let it hang heavy wherever it ends up. Deep breaths into the belly as you slowly feel the leg and the spine release. Last breath. Slowly easing back to center. Sliding the hips over to the right hand side of the mat. Right knee into the chest. Slowly guide the leg over to the left. Encouraging the whole body to become heavy. Last breath. Easing back to center. Final few moments to take any final movements that your body needs. And then when you feel ready, you can make yourself comfy, cozy, and preparing to end our practice either seated for meditation or on your back for Shavasana. Final few moments to settle. And as the body becomes still, notice its weight. And the feeling of being connected to the floor. And as you tune in to the sensations of the body, Maybe you can feel some of that energy that you've generated in your practice today still reverberating within you. Maybe you can feel that energy in your belly or your chest. Maybe you can feel it tingling in the tips of the fingers and the toes. And whatever sensations you find, allow the mind to rest there. as you start to come back into the space around you. You might bring some small movements into your fingers and your toes. Maybe taking a stretch. And in your own time, and keeping your eyes closed, and carefully make your way up to a comfortable seat. Palms come together at heart center. And as we bow our heads, let's take these last few moments to acknowledge something that we're grateful for today. Namaste.